Wealth is never an accident. It is the result of laws, principles, and disciplines that operate as surely as gravity itself. The person who understands these principles and applies them with determination will rise from obscurity to prosperity. Today, I bring before you 19 timeless principles to master wealth, each a golden key to unlock the vault of abundance. Principle 1. A definite purpose. Wealth begins in the mind. Until you know exactly how much you want and why you want it, riches will remain a dream. Fix your goal with precision. Say, Sinai will have this amount by this time, through these means. Principle 2. Burning desire, a lukewarm wish, will never make you wealthy. It is desire that transforms dreams into gold. The heat of a burning desire drives a man or woman to move mountains. Principle 3. Unshakable faith. You must believe, beyond doubt, that wealth is within your reach. Faith is the unseen power that transforms thoughts into tangible fortune. Principle 4. Autosuggestion. Speak wealth into your life. Affirm daily that abundance flows to you. The mind, when instructed repeatedly, becomes a magnet to attract opportunities. Principle 5. Specialized knowledge. Fortune favors those who master a skill or field. General knowledge may entertain, but specialized knowledge builds empires. Principle 6. Imagination. Great fortunes are born in the mind before they are seen in the bank. Imagination turns invisible ideas into visible riches. Principle 7. Organized planning. A plan, no matter how imperfect, is greater than no plan. Wealth builders draft strategies, adjust them, and persist until success answers. Principle 8. Decisiveness. Procrastination is the assassin of wealth. Decide quickly and stand firm in your decisions. Riches bow to resolute minds. Principle 9. Persistence. Every obstacle is a test. Most give up on the very threshold of victory. Persistence is the iron will that separates failures from fortunes. Principle 10. The mastermind alliance. Two minds harmonized for one purpose create a third invisible force, a power greater than any single man. Surround yourself with allies who multiply your vision. Principle 11. Self-discipline. Wealth demands mastery over self. Control of thoughts, emotions, and habits is the foundation of financial mastery. Principle 12. The subconscious mind. Your inner world rules your outer world. Program your subconscious with thoughts of prosperity and watch your life reshape itself. Principle 13. The brain as a broadcasting station. Every thought is energy. When you think abundance with intensity, you broadcast wealth-attracting vibrations into the universe. Principle 14. The sixth sense. Cultivate intuition. It is the whisper of infinite intelligence guiding you toward the right decision at the right time. Principle 15. Overcoming fear. Fear is the greatest thief of riches. Fear of poverty, criticism, or failure paralyzes progress. Slay fear and wealth will rush in. Principle 16. Integrity and honesty. Wealth gained by deceit destroys its possessor. Riches built on truth endure. Principle 17. Controlled habits. Your daily habits carve your destiny. The wealthy are simply ordinary people who cultivated extraordinary habits. Principle 18. Enthusiasm. Passion is contagious. Those who approach their goals with energy ignite confidence in others and attract resources naturally. Principle 19. Service to others. The surest way to riches is to serve. Money is a reward for value delivered. Whoever solves problems for the many will never struggle for wealth. Closing. These 19 timeless principles are not theories, they are laws. They have built empires, raised leaders, and lifted the poor into prosperity. The secret is not just to know them, but to live them daily. Wealth is not distant, it is waiting, waiting for the one bold enough to seize it. Every fortune begins with a decision, and every decision is born from a definite purpose. Without purpose, wealth is like a ship without a rudder, drifting, powerless, and at the mercy of the winds of chance. But the moment a man or woman fixes a clear aim in the mind, life itself begins to align in their favor. Purpose is the invisible hand that bends circumstances, ideas, and even people toward its fulfillment. The reason so many struggle in life is not because they lack intelligence or opportunity, but because they lack clarity. They chase many things but capture nothing. They drift from one job to another, one idea to the next, one dream to another, never realizing that scattered energy never produces riches. Concentrated power does. A magnifying glass cannot burn paper unless the sun's rays are focused at a single point. Likewise, the energy of your mind cannot create wealth unless it is concentrated upon a definite purpose. When you declare with conviction, "This is the wealth I will achieve by this method within this time frame," you ignite a power within yourself that no obstacle can extinguish. Your mind stops wandering. Your actions stop scattering. Your energy becomes unified, moving like a river forced into a narrow channel, strong, unstoppable, and capable of carving through stone. Purpose gives wealth direction, and direction gives birth to power. Think of every great fortune ever built. Behind it was not accident, not luck, but a burning goal clearly defined. The railroad barons, the steel kings, the innovators of technology, the leaders of industries, all of them first saw the fortune in their imagination before it was ever seen in reality. They decided what they wanted, and they refused to let anything distract them from it. The world makes way for the man or woman who knows where they are going. Yet, having a definite purpose does not mean simply daydreaming about riches. Purpose requires writing it down, defining it in detail, and holding it before the mind every single day. If you say, "Well, I want to be rich someday," your desire is vague, and vague desires bring vague results. But when you say, "I will earn $1 million within the next 5 years by building this business, serving this need, and giving this value," you have moved from a wish to a command. You have spoken directly to your subconscious mind, and it begins to rearrange your thoughts, your habits, and your actions in harmony with that definite command. Definite purpose turns ordinary people into visionaries. It transforms hesitation into boldness and converts fear into faith. Why? Because once the destination is certain, the journey becomes inevitable. You may not know every step on the path, but purpose will guide you through storms, setbacks, and failures. With a definite goal, every obstacle becomes a stepping stone, and every setback becomes a lesson pointing you closer to success. Without purpose, wealth is impossible. With purpose, wealth is guaranteed. A person with a definite aim is like a guided missile. It may adjust its course, but it never stops moving toward the target. Riches are simply the byproduct of unwavering clarity. So decide today. Choose your definite purpose with boldness. Write it, affirm it, see it in your imagination until it becomes more real than your present reality. The riches you desire are already waiting. They exist in the unseen, ready to manifest in the seen. All that is required is a mind locked firmly on its target. Remember this truth: definite purpose is not just the beginning of wealth, it is the master key that unlocks it. Faith is the spark that ignites the engine of wealth. Without it, even the greatest plans remain lifeless. But with it, the impossible bends and becomes possible. Faith is the unseen power that transforms ideas into realities, turning thoughts into gold and dreams into fortune. Every man or woman who has ever built great wealth first built an unshakable belief within themselves. Before riches appeared in their hands, they existed in their hearts. Faith is not a fragile hope or a timid wish. It is a burning certainty that says, "And I will succeed, I will achieve, I will not be denied." When a person holds such belief, the world begins to conspire in their favor. Doors open, people appear, opportunities unfold. What once seemed like coincidence is revealed as the natural law of attraction at work. Faith is the bridge that connects the invisible realm of thought to the tangible realm of wealth. Look at the stories of history's great builders. They were not handed their fortunes on silver trays. Many began in poverty, surrounded by doubt and criticism. Yet they held faith like a shield. When others mocked, they believed. When others quit, they pressed forward. Faith allowed them to see opportunity in failure, to see wealth where others only saw impossibility. That is the miracle of belief. It sees light where others see darkness. The greatest tragedy of those who remain poor is not lack of opportunity, but lack of faith. They whisper to themselves, "It cannot be done," and life echoes back, "It cannot be done." They believe in limitation, and so limitation becomes their master. Wealth cannot flow into the hands of one who doubts their ability to receive it. Fortune follows faith the way shadows follow light. But faith is not something you passively wait for, it is something you build. Just as muscles grow with exercise, faith strengthens when it is fed daily. Speak your wealth into existence. Affirm every morning, abundance flows to me. Opportunities chase me. I am destined for prosperity. Repeat it with emotion until your subconscious accepts it as fact. Once faith is planted deep in the subconscious, it becomes a magnetic force, attracting the exact circumstances needed to fulfill your desire. Faith also demands action. To say you believe while sitting idle is not faith, but fantasy. True faith moves your feet, sharpens your mind, and fuels your persistence. When you believe with all your heart that your goal is certain, hesitation vanishes, and boldness takes its place. You act with courage not because the path is easy, but because you know the outcome is guaranteed. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. Doubt is poison, but faith is medicine. Every time fear whispers, "What if you fail?" answer back with faith. "What if I succeed?" Hold your mind so firmly on your wealth goal that nothing, not ridicule, not obstacles, not setbacks, can shake your belief. Faith makes you bigger than your environment, stronger than your critics, and greater than your circumstances. The fortune you desire is waiting, but it will never arrive if you believe it is out of reach. Fortune bows to the one who believes. Faith is the currency of success, and the more of it you possess, the richer you become. Wealth does not begin in banks, it begins in belief. So plant faith in your mind like a seed. Water it daily with affirmations, nourish it with vision, protect it from doubt, and let it grow until it becomes unbreakable. Then, and only then, will fortune reveal itself to you. For faith is not just part of the wealth equation, it is the very fuel that drives it. Wealth is never the result of chance, it is the offspring of organized planning. A dream without a plan is only a wish, but a dream with a plan becomes a blueprint for fortune. Riches are not built on hope alone, they are constructed step by step, with deliberate strategy and disciplined execution. Organized planning is the bridge that carries you from imagination to manifestation. Every fortune in history began as a simple idea, but it did not stop there. The idea was organized, tested, and shaped into a practical plan. Great fortunes are not accidents of luck, they are engineered outcomes. The person who takes time to design a path to their goal will always outpace the one who drifts without direction. Planning turns chaos into clarity and transforms confusion into confidence. Think of a builder who wishes to construct a palace. Would he begin by piling bricks at random, hoping that one day they will stand as walls? Never. He first lays out the design, the measurements, the materials, the workers, and the schedule. Only when the plan is complete does the palace rise. In the same way, you must approach wealth not with scattered effort, but with precise, deliberate planning. The greatest enemy of riches is vagueness. Many people say, "Well, I want to be rich someday." But this statement lacks power because it lacks structure. What does a rich mean? How much? By when? Through what method? Wealth responds to precision. Organized planning requires that you define exactly what you want, how you will earn it, what resources you will need, and what steps you must take daily. Once this clarity is in place, your subconscious begins to guide your actions like a compass pointing north. But planning does not mean waiting for the perfect plan before moving. Perfection is the excuse of procrastinators. Begin with the best plan you can design now and adjust as you progress. Every plan will meet obstacles. Every plan will need corrections. But the person with no plan will be destroyed by obstacles, while the person with a plan will adapt and overcome. Organized planning is not rigid. It is living, flexible, and responsive. Fortunes are also built by collective planning. No man or woman rises to wealth alone. The power of the mastermind, the alliance of minds united for a single goal, magnifies your plan and strengthens it. When you surround yourself with those who bring ideas, knowledge, and perspectives you lack, your plan becomes sharper and more powerful. Organized planning demands humility, the willingness to learn, to delegate, and to seek guidance. Persistence and planning are twins. A plan without persistence collapses at the first storm, but persistence without a plan is wasted energy. Together, they create unstoppable momentum. When your plan is clear and your will is firm, every setback becomes a stepping stone. The path may twist, but the destination remains certain. Remember, riches flee from the disorganized. They slip away from the one who acts without direction. But wealth is magnetized to the one who organizes his life, his time, and his resources toward a definite aim. Organized planning creates efficiency, and efficiency multiplies results. Hours become more productive, opportunities are seized faster, and money flows where discipline reigns. So write your plan, break it into steps, review it daily, correct it when needed, sharpen it with knowledge, strengthen it with allies, and fuel it with persistence. Fortune does not favor the careless, it crowns the prepared. Organized planning is not merely a tool for wealth, it is the very foundation upon which every empire has ever been built. Riches are never random, they are the reward of those who plan them into existence. Knowledge is not power until it is applied, and not all knowledge is equal. General knowledge may entertain the mind, but specialized knowledge multiplies value and creates wealth. The world does not reward people simply for knowing, it rewards those who know something specific, apply it with precision, and use it to solve real problems. Specialized knowledge is the golden thread that transforms skill into fortune. Look around and you will see proof everywhere. The person who knows a little about everything but masters nothing struggles to find wealth. They drift from one thing to another, never standing out, never being indispensable. But the one who digs deep into a chosen field becomes irreplaceable. They become the surgeon whose skill saves lives, the inventor whose expertise produces breakthroughs, the entrepreneur whose insight opens new markets. The marketplace does not pay for mediocrity, it pays for mastery. Specialized knowledge is the weapon that sharpens your edge against competition. In a world flooded with information, it is not what you vaguely know that matters, it is what you can do better than others. Knowledge becomes wealth only when it can be turned into service, innovation, or value that others are willing to pay for. And the more unique, rare, and useful your knowledge, the higher the price the world will pay. Yet specialized knowledge is not gained by chance. It must be pursued with focus and discipline. It is the product of study, practice, and relentless curiosity. Fortune follows those who never stop learning, who constantly refine their expertise, who are humble enough to admit they do not know everything, and wise enough to keep growing. The greatest riches are held by those who understand that learning never ends. Consider the difference between one who reads broadly but aimlessly and one who studies with a definite goal. The first may become intelligent but unfocused, able to speak of many things but master of none. The second channels learning into a definite purpose, turning knowledge into capital. The specialist in business, in science, in leadership, in art. These are the people whose names rise, whose influence expands, and whose bank accounts grow. Specialized knowledge also multiplies value when combined with imagination. Knowledge alone is static, but when imagination applies it in new ways, it becomes innovation. Think of the inventor who took electrical knowledge and gave the world light, or the visionary who combined technology with communication to create industries worth billions. Knowledge is the clay, but imagination shapes it into fortune. Do not be deceived into thinking you must know everything yourself. The wise wealth builder surrounds themselves with those who hold specialized knowledge they lack. This is the secret of great enterprises. No one man possesses all the expertise, but through alliances and partnerships, the knowledge of many is combined to achieve success beyond the ability of one. This is why leaders hire experts, consult advisors, and form mastermind groups. They understand that specialized knowledge multiplies when it is shared. But the true power of specialized knowledge lies not just in acquiring it, but in applying it with persistence. Knowledge unused is wasted treasure. The world is full of educated failures, people who knew much but did little. Wealth belongs not to the one who stores knowledge in the mind, but to the one who turns knowledge into service, service into value, and value into riches. So choose your field, specialize, learn deeply, act boldly, and apply relentlessly. Let your knowledge become a tool of service and a source of power. Every fortune is built by someone who mastered something others could not. Specialized knowledge is not simply learning, it is the lever that lifts you above the crowd and multiplies your value until the world has no choice but to reward you with wealth. Nothing can resist the will of a person who refuses to quit. Persistence is the hammer that breaks down the walls of failure, the fire that keeps burning when others' flames go out, the steady force that transforms obstacles into stepping stones. Wealth has never bowed to talent alone, nor to intelligence, nor even to opportunity. It has always surrendered to persistence. Many begin the journey toward riches with excitement, but few finish. At the first sign of difficulty, most retreat. At the first door closed, they turn back. At the first failure, they surrender. But the one who persists, who pushes forward when everything says stop, discovers that resistance is temporary. Life tests every dream, not to destroy it, but to prove how much you truly want it. And persistence is the answer that proves you are worthy of wealth. Think of water dripping on stone. A single drop does nothing, but drip after drip, day after day, the hardest rock surrenders. So it is with persistence. Your repeated effort, your refusal to give in, wears down the resistance of circumstance until wealth yields to your determination. Failures are not permanent, they are checkpoints. Obstacles are not dead ends, they are detours. Only persistence carries you through them. History is filled with men and women who were ordinary in every way except one: they refused to stop. Their ideas were doubted, their dreams ridiculed, their progress resisted, yet they pressed on. They failed not once but many times. They fell, but they rose. And because they kept moving, the world eventually moved with them. Fortune does not crown the fastest starter, it crowns the last one standing. Persistence is not stubbornness for its own sake. It is intelligent determination. It does not mean beating your head against a closed door forever. It means adjusting your plan, trying new methods, learning from mistakes, but never abandoning the goal. Failure may whisper, "Tit is over," but persistence replies, "It is not over until I win." Every resistance you meet on the road to wealth is a test of your persistence, the business that struggles at first, the idea that fails repeatedly, the opportunities that vanish, the people who doubt you. All of these are placed before you not to stop you, but to strengthen you. Persistence builds muscles no comfort can build. It develops courage, patience, and resilience, the very qualities wealth requires to remain. Most give up 3 feet from gold. They dig, they sweat, they labor, but when the soil grows hard, they quit, not knowing the treasure was inches away. Persistence refuses to quit. It digs deeper, pushes harder, and uncovers what others left behind. This is why wealth so often flows to the persistent. It is not that the road was easier for them, but that they walked further than the rest. Persistence breaks resistance because resistance is temporary, but persistence is eternal. Obstacles grow weary before the man or woman who refuses to surrender. Life may delay you, but it cannot deny you if you keep pressing forward. Every no you hear, every failure you face, every setback you endure, persistence transforms them into fuel, propelling you closer to victory. So burn this truth into your heart. Persistence is the secret ingredient of wealth. Talent may sparkle, ideas may shine, but without persistence, they fade into nothing. The riches you desire are waiting, but they are guarded by trials. Break through them, endure them, persist until the resistance crumbles. For in the end, the world does not remember those who started, but those who refused to stop. No individual has ever created great wealth alone. Behind every fortune, behind every empire, behind every breakthrough, stands the combined force of many minds working together in harmony. The mastermind principle is the secret multiplier of power. One mind may dream, but when joined with others of like vision and determination, its strength is magnified beyond measure. Wealth flows where alliances are formed, and power expands when minds are united. A single battery holds energy, but when many batteries are linked together, the current becomes unstoppable. So it is with the human mind. Alone, your knowledge and ideas are limited. But when you ally yourself with others who share your purpose and complement your abilities, you create a force far greater than the sum of its parts. This invisible energy, the harmony of minds working toward one aim, is the mastermind. and it is the unseen power behind every great fortune. History proves this truth. The titans of industry did not rise because they worked alone. They gathered teams of specialists, thinkers, and doers who supplied knowledge, strategies, and resources they themselves did not possess. One man's vision became a reality because others lent their skills to its creation. The wealthy understand that riches are never the result of isolation. They are the fruit of cooperation. The mastermind works because no one can know everything, see everything, or do everything. Your strength lies in your focus, but your growth lies in the combined strengths of others. When you connect with minds greater in certain areas than your own, their knowledge becomes your advantage. Their perspective reveals opportunities you would have missed, and their wisdom protects you from costly mistakes. Alone you are limited, but with the mastermind your limitations vanish. Yet the power of the mastermind does not come from gathering just anyone. It requires harmony. Two or more minds working together in perfect agreement create a third invisible mind, a higher intelligence that guides decisions, sparks creativity, and inspires persistence. Discord destroys this power, but harmony multiplies it. Therefore, choose your allies carefully. Surround yourself with those who believe in your vision, who share your values, and who bring skills that complement your own. The mastermind not only multiplies knowledge, but also strengthens faith. When challenges arise, one man alone may doubt and falter. But when surrounded by allies who believe in the dream, his faith is lifted, his courage is renewed, and his persistence is doubled. A mastermind alliance does not merely share ideas, it shares energy, motivation, and resilience. Together, the group becomes an unbreakable force pushing toward success. Consider what happens when iron sharpens iron, sparks fly, edges are refined, and strength increases. The mastermind functions in the same way. Through discussion, debate, and collaboration, weak ideas are sharpened into powerful strategies. Challenges that seem insurmountable to one person are dismantled piece by the combined wisdom of the group. Every person seeking wealth must therefore ask, who are my allies? No great leader, no successful entrepreneur, no wealthy pioneer ever reached their heights without the mastermind. Riches do not come from isolation, they come from connection. The mastermind turns individual effort into collective force, and collective force into unstoppable momentum. So build your alliance. Seek those who inspire, who challenge, who uplift. Share your vision boldly and invite others into it. Guard the harmony of the group as if it were treasure, for it is. Within the mastermind lies the secret energy that expands power, multiplies wealth, and unlocks fortunes impossible to achieve alone. Remember this truth: one person can start a dream, but only many united can finish it.